Tomorrow, more Capital One Cup action as Northampton host Wolves. The third round draw will follow that game. That's 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 1 HD. And before that, all the big boys of Europe will be watching the Champions League draw to see who they've got in the group stages. You can see it at 4:30, Sky Sports News HD. And on Friday, you can see the winners of the Champions League play the winners of the Europa League as Chelsea play Atletico Madrid in the UEFA Super Cup. Watch out for Falcao, Chelsea. 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 2 HD. Well, going into the second leg of the Super Cup, Barcelona had a 100% record. Real Madrid yet to win this season, but all form goes out the window when these two meet. Real with the opener, Higuain scoring in the 11th minute. Ronaldo not had the best start to the season so far, but he made it too, capitalising on another Barcelona mistake. Adriano pulled down the Portuguese, and Barca down to 10 men. They looked out of it, but who else but Lionel Messi stepping up with a wonderful free kick to make it 2-1, 4-4 on aggregate. But as it stands, Real Madrid win the Supercopa. Rafa, what does Villanova need to do in the second half in terms of tweaking things?
Obviously he has to attack, but we said before, the game plan of Real Madrid is to play direct behind the defenders. So it will be a big risk for Barcelona, but they have to do it, they have to attack. And they had Messi to the rescue, so we will see what happens in the second half, but I don't see Barcelona in the first half. They were not attacking too much, so they have to play a little bit higher and they will have problems behind the defenders.
I don't see Luka Modric coming on just yet, but what about any more substitutions from Barcelona?
Well, I think they probably are going to start with what they have, see what the game is, how it's going on. Obviously they have Villa on the bench, they have Cesc, they have Tello, they have attacking options. But as Rafa is saying, they have to take care of the back, and if they attack, they have to attack properly and be ready to close down once they lose the ball. Otherwise, they will face the same problem they've had in the first half.
Are there some games, Rafa, at half-time you say this is not actually about tactics, this is about the mentality of the game?
Yeah, the main thing that Barcelona has to improve is the character, the mentality. So the attitude has to be better, they have to have more intensity. And so we were talking about every challenge. They were losing every challenge, so they have to improve this, and then obviously the game. No?
OK, we'll expect more goals in the second half. We join our commentary team with Jerry Armstrong and Rob Palmer.
Well, pretty much as we expected. Feisty game, red card, goals from Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi in a fantastic opening 45 minutes at the Estadio Bernabeu. And I'm sure there are going to be a few more thrills and spills as well. Welcome to the tough world of management. Tito Villanova, we're told that he's like Pep Guardiola, only a little calmer. Will he be calm tonight, Jerry?
Is that why he got sent off last week at Osasuna? Well, there you have it. There's 2 yellow cards in the back four here, Arbeloa and Pepe. And at the other end, you'll see there's yellow cards for Javier Mascherano. You have a red card for Adriano. He's gone.
Well, the ball very much in the court of Real Madrid. 4-4 on aggregate. Real scoring the 2 goals last week in the 3-2 defeat at the Camp Nou. How that late, what seemed to be a consolation goal, has really ignited this particular two-legged tie. Did somewhat dull the atmosphere inside the stadium when Messi delivered that magnificent free kick, already his 6th goal of the season. Di Maria. So too much of the ball to Iniesta.
He's won it back again, though. He showed perseverance. That's a great pass.
It's a lovely ball from Xabi Alonso. Pedro all by himself, and there was an arm across his face from Cristiano Ronaldo. Whether it was intentional or not, or worthy of the free kick, I'm not convinced, but he was genuinely caught.
Yeah, he's milked it a wee bit. I think he's lost. He knew he was going to lose the ball. He's checked inside. He was going to lose the ball. I think he's made the most of the situation and gingerly gets up. Let's see.
I think he felt the sharpness of Ronaldo's left elbow there.
Those are nothing challenges, Rob, in football. Honestly, you don't want a non-contact sport altogether.
I got one of those in my face as you were heading for the coffee machine.
Exactly, exactly.
Adams. It's been a very patient start to the second half from Real Madrid. Are they trying to play Barcelona in their own game? Passing the ball around, making Barca do that extra 10% of running.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rob. I think Mourinho said we've got an extra man, let's make it count. Keep possession better, make them work harder, get them tired.
The initial tactics was get in the faces of Barcelona to wind them up, and certainly worked. 2 early goals, mistakes from Mascherano and Gerard Piqué, and then Adriano opting to bring down Cristiano Ronaldo, warranting the straight red. Getting the cap calls from the Real Madrid supporters, aware that he's given away a couple of goals in these matches over the last 12 months.
I think they were daring them to take somebody on. That's a poor pass.
That's another terrible pass. Freedom for Di Maria. Di Maria trying to get it onto his favoured left foot, Mascherano, with a perfectly timed challenge. Alba drives out of defence. Lionel Messi injected life into the game for Barcelona with the last kick, or telling kick of the first half.
He's got that ability, Rob. He can do that.
Gianni.
Good tackle.
Stopped by Alonso. Now Ozil. Mane very rarely goes the full 90 minutes if he is withdrawn tonight. One would imagine that Luka Modric will be the player to be given his Real Madrid debut.
We're going to keep that one in.
He will. Trying to play it off Pepe, but not falling for it, and the referee's assistant saw nothing wrong with that one.
He couldn't. There's the 2 players are in front of him. You play to the whistle. Why does he just put his hands up? You got to keep playing.
No, I think the referee's pulled it back for strong words. Which way's the car? It's a Piqué.
Well, the referee's made that decision. He's made that decision. I don't know if the crowd influenced him on that, but he's turned into it. There's a tackle here. The ball spins up, hits him in the hand. Well, the next movement afterwards was he deliberately does move the hand forward, and that's probably why. The first one was accidental. The second one looked more deliberate.
And as we say, it is unique to Spanish football. The directive from the top is, if it's a handball, it has to be a yellow card.
Yep.
So Mascherano and Piqué both on yellows now.
They're vulnerable outside players here, Barcelona, there's no doubt about that. Who's marking Ronaldo?
Ronaldo comes flying in, it was just ahead of him. Piqué was there first. Higuain. Marcelo. Alonso. A beautifully driven pass. Ozil. Maria looking for the shots. Good defending from Barcelona. They've upped their game after a very timid start. Mourinho's team have had the lead in the league matches this season against Valencia, and then they drew 1-1. They had advantage against Getafe and lost 2-1.
Yeah, but they've never had a 2-goal lead. Now it's down to 2-1. Maybe a little bit more anxious. But they're going to have to work just as hard the second half against 10-man Barcelona as they did in the first half. They got to create more chances. I feel they need another goal.
Mascherano. Jordi Alba. He's down on the team sheet as a left back, but he's not your traditional left back, is he? He's like Marcelo in the opposition.
Absolutely.
He likes to get down that wing, and there he goes.
Needed a better pass than that, though, but great run from Jordi Alba.
okay. Given time, Messi. Could be a game that is decided by the two managers and the changes that are made as the evening develops.
There's no doubt the squads are going to be important this season, not just in the Super Cup but in Champions League and in League. Ronaldo plays it off and looks for the return.
Marcelo, Ozil, Khedira. Ankles clipped by Iniesta.
Iniesta's asking the question from the referee, and he was well positioned, taken quickly.
It is Ronaldo to Khedira. Maria flies the cross in and well ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo.
The idea was good, the delivery was wanting a little bit. Put too much pace on it from Di Maria.
What chance is going to 3-2? Extra time and penalties.
There's every chance. I think both these sides have got goals in them. So he takes the chances though.
Here's Higuain, keeps it in play. Ronaldo is at the far post. I think Higuain had full belief in actually reaching the ball. He hadn't.
Well, that was a tight one. I'm not sure. He thinks he kept it in. I don't know what Alex Song makes of all of this, and he.
Iniesta. Pedro. Now Xavi. Messi. Barcelona playing into a wall of white and a wall of whistles. Messi. The ball retention is the name of the Barcelona game. Took a lot out of them as well. The game against Osasuna up in Pamplona, they really had to give their maximum to win that game. Some neutrals felt they didn't quite edge it. The scoreline suggests otherwise, but they put in the effort. Is their fuel in the tank? 10 minutes coming in the second half. Xavi to Busquets. Mascherano to Xavi. Real Madrid content to let Barcelona have the ball. Pass and move. It's the move bit that they're quite content with as they tire themselves out. Ozil winning it back.
That's good skills. That's that work ethic I'm talking about, Rob. He's winning that in the edge of his own box, and he's running 30-40 yards, committing defenders. Puts tremendous effort into it. It's Andres Iniesta who catches him as well. Well, at some stage there's going to be substitutions on both sides, but if you look at the bench, there's at least 100 million euros worth of talent on the Madrid bench, and probably the same if you look at the likes of David Villa and Cesc and Song on the and Tello on the bench for Barcelona. There's another 100 million on that bench.
There's Khedira. I just wonder whether Real may be tempted to withdraw Khedira. Is there any need for an extra anchor man in midfield? Maybe Modric will be seen. Mascherano. Young Montoya. Thrown into the Clasico. Just came up to make the numbers in the squad. Had half a chance in the first half as well, didn't he, Montoya? Little Messi scored the goal just before the break. It's almost a mirror image of last week's game, and all of the fireworks came in the second half, and the first was like a game of chess. Now very slowly, deliberately, the coaches moving their players around. Real happy to play check. Excellent movement this from Barcelona. Now Montoya. And they found a chink in the Real Madrid armour. Pepe flies in. Ronaldo not far away. Now Marcelo. Weathered that little storm. Hardly a hurricane. That was fine early ball. And unlike the first half, Piqué kept his balance and kept his concentration. Similar situation to that led to the second goal.
Absolutely dealt with it better on that occasion. Still not convinced though, Rob, to be honest. And they've lost possession. Here's the break on with Di Maria.
Cristiano Ronaldo. 2 to beat. Goes around Montoya. Mascherano has dusted himself off after a very shaky start. Reminder of the games coming up this weekend. Mallorca against Real Sociedad is our 9 o'clock kickoff on Sky Sports 1 on Saturday. Sunday, Real at home against Granada. Coverage starts 6:45. Followed by Barcelona against Valencia. 8:30 start on Sky Sports 1 HD. And it's offering Betis against Atletico on Sky Sports Extra. And then we'll look back at everything in Revista 6:30 on Sky Sports 1 HD on Tuesday. Khedira. Pepe. Oh, don't even tempt to just slow the pace down to walking pace. We'll be hoping the fans are understanding. Of course, they won't care how it was won if the history book says that they won the Super Cup and they beat their great rivals. There's a little period in the Real Madrid history where everything had to be done Hollywood style. They signed the Galacticos, and Vicente Del Bosque, one of the most successful coaches in Real Madrid history, was replaced because he didn't have the right image. And of course the rest is history. Headed away, took on the Spanish national team, won the World Cup, won the Euros. That's sexy.
They did him a favour, didn't they?
Lionel Messi. Giving that little bit extra teaser for Xavi. Now Alba. Mascherano. Piqué. Mascherano playing that dangerous game on the halfway line. Continues his run, but nobody ahead of him. Square is Xavi. Maybe this is a lesson in how to play with 10 men. They've been allowed to play this way by Mourinho's side. Certainly not the players doing. It will be the instruction of the manager. Let them run themselves into the ground.
They're playing across the park at the moment. They're not penetrating, so I don't think Mourinho will be too disappointed, but
it's almost all in that light strip of the pitch, isn't it? Yeah. Just beyond the centre circle. Now they go central. Pedro's in. Brilliant take. Oh, tremendous save from Iker Casillas. Well, quietly does it. And then wham bang.
Oh, Rob, that was unbelievable. What a pass over the top. The pace of Pedro caught everybody out. His first touch was sublime. The run was good. The pass was good from Mascherano. Good touch. And the finish was brilliant, but Casillas wasn't going to be denied. And we've seen that from Mascherano. Javier Mascherano's made 3 or 4 really good passes over the top. Very accurate passes. This game's still alive.
It is, and
Sami Khedira, he's going to get a booking for that, or just a free kick?
Well, the reflex action of the referee was to go for his card.
And he's going to book him.
Khedira is trying to disappear into the crowd, but his number's up.
Well, that might encourage Jose to make another change. Now, does he go Lassana Diarra, or does he go with Madred? Oh, that's definitely
it was
a foul. He's not nowhere near the ball. Messi's knocked the ball past him. He's taken Messi out.
The applause for first sighting of the new boy. On the spur, Luka Modric.
Well, is this Xavi range or Messi range after the first goal?
In the first half, it was Messi range. It was maybe a little bit closer to goal.
Yeah, it's a bit further this one.
I would imagine that Messi's going to go for goal and then hope for any seconds. It takes a deflection. Sting is taken out of it.
It was quite hopeful, that one.
Real Madrid got the 2 goals last week at the Camp Nou. Advantage to the Madristas, 4-4 on aggregate.
It's an interesting ball.
There's a long ball over the top.
It's deemed offside.
Well, people talk about the tippy-tappy football that Barcelona play and the way that the Spanish sides play this neat, intricate stuff. But the goals have come tonight, well, for Real Madrid, and that big chance we've just seen for Pedro, when there has been the long, early ball over the top.
Yeah, I think you can play both ways. I think Real Madrid's got the ability to play short passing game, and they can hit you on the counter-attack, or they can play it over the top. So it's good to have all the variations. But then we've seen the same with Barcelona. That was one pass from his own half, Mascherano, straight over the top after a period of keeping possession, and Pedro was through and goal.
Benzema last year with 32 goals is one option. Luka Modric, the new boy in town, is the other option should they be required. Pedro gets around Ramos and tries to put it through the legs of Iker Casillas, who's been by far the busier of the 2 keepers in the second half.
Absolutely, Rob, you're right. And the counter-attack with 10-man Barcelona is looking very, very potent. There's a great run from Ozil. Oh, brilliant.
Showing the line and getting around Montoya. Real Madrid come out of their shell. Kedira. Arbeloa. Alonso. Finds it at Cristiano Ronaldo. A bit sharper and more penetrating now from Real Madrid. Oh, he's going to be PKs, but not a good direction on the header. Ozil not too brave in the challenge. Montoya clears the lines.
Real Madrid pick up the possession again, though. More pressure.
Marcelo makes no ground, and Valdez decisive and brave, all in one fell swoop.
Last 2 or 3 attacks from Real Madrid have not ended in a shot or a cross of any real power, Rob, and I can see where Barcelona are encouraged. But that could all change. The next goal is going to change that.
20 minutes have flown by.
Oh, it was a poor pass from Sami Khedira. I wonder how long he's going to stay on.
Which club museum the Super Cuppa is going to end up in for the next 12 months is not yet clear. The scorers, the usual suspects. Alonso, a little bit of backspin on the ball. Makes it awkward for Alaba to judge.
Yeah, he's sort of got away with it though, hasn't he? Oh, good turn.
Lionel Messi. Xavi. Look at that picture there. So he's a back 4 of Real, and then the midfield players, a 20-yard gap ahead of them, trying to push Barcelona back into their own half. None of them had the possession, not to make any ground. Piqué exploits the yardage, but just runs into the trap that's set. Pedro, to see him back to full fitness, struggled a bit last year, had the injuries, but never quite came back, firing on all of the cylinders.
Just thought that that's when Real Madrid did much better, when they pressed the back four in the first half, but then you have to have the energy levels to do that. But they've won it back again. Here's Gonzalo Higuain.
Ozil. A bit of movement from the Real subs. It makes sense to bring on the fresh legs of Benzema, and the new talent Madred. Khedira. Khedira goes. Khedira almost scores. Valdez to the rescue.